everybody? It's your boy Pitts, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down, all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat.
Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still.
And
we're gonna be here all day.
All day.
Miss Amari Lawson, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, everyone. My name is Terrence Pitts. I am Pitts from Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV. Coming to you live with our last show. What they say, you say the best for last, right? I think I heard that somewhere before, right? I didn't want to say nothing. But listen, this is a special one because Amari is presently the new head coach at Benedict College.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Before we get into that, because I think it's special, the fact that you played at Benedict, correct?
Yes.
Talk about the emotions, talk about just being able to not only play, but then also coach at your alma mater. How does that feel?
Oh man, it is really full circle. Everybody don't get the opportunity to do that. And so I'm just super grateful for administration to believe in what I can bring to the table. And so I'm just super excited to, come in, hit the ground running and make a few adjustments and changes and rock out.
When
Definitely
you talk of full circle, it is because, last year you were assistant coach at Clark Atlanta.
Yes.
And this year, you now get to put your own imprint, your own style, your own everything. Like, that has to be exciting.
Very much so.
When you got the call, take us through your emotions. Take us through that. Take us through the moment you found out.
Oh, my emotions are really everywhere. Because at that point in time, I was just looking to transition to grow within the sport of softball. So I'm like, man, school has started, things are getting tight. What is next? And so I said a couple of prayers and God just told me to be still, sit still, and just have some faith. So I sat still. I'm on social media. I just put my head down. And then when I got that call, I was like, man, I'm still in awe. I'm still in shock. I've been waking up every morning like, dang, this is really my life. I live in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm a head coach of 22 young ladies. I am really walking in my dream.
Not only are you a head coach of 22 young ladies, you're a head coach of 22 young ladies at the same college, on the same field that you got to play on as well. That
Yes.
full circle blessing is tremendous, and congratulations.
Thank you.
As a new head coach, what was your first thing what was your first, I gotta do this? What was the first thing you did?
Good question. Team bonding for sure. So like you said, I've been at Clark, so I've been within the conference, and my biggest thing is these young ladies have talent. The talent is there. It's not the issue. So my biggest thing was to come in and try to figure out, what was the issue at hand. So you haven't been in conference in 2 or 3 years, but the talent is here. So what's the disconnect? So just to come in, connect, really see what's going on. And the girls, they were very honest. And we just started from there. Started with team bondage, trying to connect as a whole, as a unit. And I'm just trying to work on some internal things before we can even get into the dirt.
Absolutely. And shout out to Sasha Williams. He said, "We love you, Coach Lawson." Talk about the challenges when you're coming into a new team, right? The players, they may have heard of you, may know you some way, but talk about when you come into a new team and you have to put your own imprint, but then, you got to kind of reshape the surface and the culture of what was.
Okay.
Talk about those challenges.
So for me, my biggest challenge was, of course, I started mid-October. So at that point, fall season is really coming to a close. So my thing was coming in and not really trying to make too many adjustments up front, sitting back, just seeing how they're maneuvering, what they're doing, how they're practicing, how they're looking, versus just coming in and hitting the ground. Just, we're finna do this, we're finna do this, we're finna change this. So allowing the ladies to show me their walk, show me what they've been doing throughout the fall season, and kind of like the gist of their program, if that makes sense. My biggest thing was the buy-in. So I'm like, okay, man, I'm starting mid-season, mid-fall season. Are these going to are they going to buy in? And I can honestly say that they're buying in. So,
what do you think it is that gave them that buy-in? Was it because you have a spirit of like you wear it on your sleeve, right? So you have an expectation of you can expect from me what I'm expecting from you.
110%. And I tell my young ladies that every single day, you get what you put in is what you get back out. And for me, just when you step in this line, when you come on the field, you're in the classroom, whatever you're doing, give 110%. And everybody 110% is not going to look the same. But for me, sitting back watching, I'm gonna know if you're half doing it, if you're not giving me 110%. So that's really my biggest thing.
Talk about, because you were already, like you said, you were already in the SEAC, right? And you get to go against a team that you was coaching last year. Like, talk about the emotions when you see Clark Atlanta, and talk about, those young ladies and those bonds and the relationships that you've established there.
Definitely, Clark Atlanta took me in. Coach LaWanda Pearson mentored me, got me to, where I'm at today. So for me, my biggest thing is that's where I started at. So a lot of those young ladies, we were together 3-4 years, so emotions are definitely going to be high. That's a great group again, such a great group, very talented. And yeah, those are my heart will forever be within those young ladies, because they were the start of where I'm at today. So it'll always be love there. But when we get on that field, it's a business. We gonna play. We're gonna shake up and hug at the end.
What'd you say? You say we can smile now, but when it comes between those lines, there's no more.
It's business. No it's teeth. Business. When a ball game, then we can hug and chop it up.
Yeah. And Ms. Dunbar, we are super excited to allow Coach Lawson to bring her leadership to this program. Shout out to Ms. Dunbar. Thank you for watching. Last year, you participated, as I stated, with Clark Atlanta at the 2024 HBCU Softball Challenge. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the expectations that you guys went in with it, and did it meet that? And what did you take away from it?
Honestly, I feel like last year at Clark Atlanta, are you asking what was my expectation when we went there with Clark Atlanta?
Because you were there with Clark Atlanta last year, so just want to get you, because you had that experience from last year. What do you take away? What was your takeaway from it, and did it meet your expectations?
Oh, absolutely. My expectations were very high, with so much talent in Spartanburg, so much talent, and to see our young ladies come together and compete at a high level, and to really show off on the field and do what they need to do with Black excellence, seriously. And I feel like every young lady that looks like us doesn't have the same opportunities to go and play ball in school. And so I'm super excited to go back, super grateful. And I think all the HBCUs need to go and participate.
When you talk about your team coming in and you said that you allowed the ladies to show you who they were, right? You allowed them to, I don't want to say audition, but you sat back and you watched before you spoke. How many seniors, how many returning veterans do you have versus, because I'm guessing recruiting was done before you got there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then, yeah, if you can talk about the challenges. So you're basically taking over a team that was already recruited then.
Yes. So we have a pretty young team. About maybe 7 or 8 freshmen, a handful of sophomores, a few juniors, and I want to say 4 to 5 seniors. So my freshman class is the biggest class.
Okay. Okay.
And so at this point, I'm coming in with a young class, so I'm just ready to work and we grow together, and that's going to be kind of like our base right there.
Despite being a young team, what are your expectations? I know every coach's expectation is to compete, right? But unlike other universities that you're going to play against, where they may have already had their coaching in place prior to October, do you find it challenging to be in that position, knowing that you may be slightly behind the eight ball?
Do I find it challenging? Honestly, I don't find it challenging because if the young ladies were working, they were practicing, they were doing it. What they needed to do before I got here. Did it shut off? Can you hear me?
No. You're good. It just froze up a little bit. You're okay.
Okay. So from my understanding, they were already, in the midst of fall season when I got here. And I really do commend them for that, because for you to, have a coach in absence and you're still going to your 6 a.m. weights, you're still going to pool workouts, you're still coming to your 4 o'clock field workouts. That says a lot about your drive, your work ethic. It says a lot about the team as a whole. And again, we have a big team of freshmen. And the leadership.
Yeah, that says a lot about the leadership.
Yes, absolutely. So no, I don't feel like we're behind on the A-ball.
That's amazing. You said even in despite of the absence of, they were still doing the necessary requirements in order for them to better and sharpen their skill. That is amazing leadership that you walked into. That is a great atmosphere to be a part of. And those young ladies should be, definitely commended for that, because that says a lot about their work ethic and who they are as young women. Do you find that the softball challenge provides you an opportunity to see, some of the strengths and weaknesses that you may have on your team?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Do you think that the softball challenge provides an opportunity to see the strengths and weaknesses that you may have on your team?
Yes, absolutely. So for me, coming in, just go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Ask what you was about to ask.
No, because it was a delay on my end, so I didn't know. So no, you go ahead and ask the question. You go ahead and answer it.
Man, I'm in my train of thought. I lost my train of thought.
The question was, do you find it, do you strengths and weaknesses, the softball challenge, did you look for strengths and weaknesses out of this tournament?
Oh, yes. So are you speaking in my team aspect or just overall?
Your team specifically.
Oh, yes. So I believe the tournament is at a good time before we get in the meat of our conference games. So that will allow us to play some games, see some different talent outside of our conference.
Have you shared the experience that you had last year with your players this for Benedict?
No, I have not. Honestly. I just want them to go in, play ball, because I feel like every year is a different year. And I don't want them going in thinking you got to do this in order to get here, if that makes sense. I feel like I wouldn't say we have a brand new team, but the dynamics are totally different. And so I want us to come in fresh. I don't want us to be lingering on the past, if that makes sense. My upperclassmen already know what's going on. They know what it looks like to be at that tournament. But for my freshmen, no, sir. I just want them to go in, locked in, and handling business.
When you look for the 2025 HBCU Softball Challenge again this year, what are your expectations from your team at that point? Because you said that you guys will already be, I guess, in your season, correct?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
we start
I think that's a different question. And so you actually start your season prior to the tournament.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you find the pros and cons in that?
Not at all. I feel like I love tournament play. You see so many different things, so many different players, so many different situations. I love tournament play. I love it.
Can you highlight, because you bring us an aspect of, where it's one thing to coach institution, it's another thing to play and coach there. Talk about what Benedict means to you and why Benedict.
Benedict is literally life-changing. I'm going to just be very transparent and honest. I did not choose Benedict. Benedict chose me. I'm going to just be honest. I had great grades, but my SAT scores weren't the best. So I had a few schools here. I probably had maybe like 2 or 3 schools. And so I came down for a visit and literally I was sold. And I don't even think my first visit wasn't even at the school. I went and watched them play. And just the environment, the family like it just screamed family. It literally just screamed family. So I'm like, man, like I done came here. I ain't even seen the school. I'm already sold. I'm ready to sign the dotted line. And so literally Benedict has been life-changing for me. And I tell my girls this all the time. Benedict it's an institution where you come here and you grow. It's bigger than the game. We're a small school, very family-oriented. Everybody is really know everybody. Everybody is really acquainted with everybody. And you have professors and administration here that's been here forever. Maybe even went to school here. So everything is kind of like, man, how do I explain it? I don't know. Like Benedict really changed my life for sure. For sure.
For people who are in the area and who are new to this, what would be your pitch to get them out and come out and enjoy 3 days worth of softball?
That's a good one. What would be my pitch to get them to come out and see softball? I really just say new beginnings. Because you can't, I wouldn't tell them to look at what we've done in the past. Just come and see some new things.
Are you going to, because you went to Benedict, so when you're coaching, are you getting out there? You running bases? You sitting out there in outfield catching fly balls? Like, look, this is how coach did it. This my field. Now y'all gotta come and put your own imprint on it.
Coach, no, I've turned over the leaf. I'm here to coach. I gave that up. I gave that up. I am on the side coaching on third base.
You said
no.
Not no more.
Practice. No, practice. When I give examples and walk through the different drills and that, but as in just going out there and no, sir.
I look forward to, because you are very passionate at third base and you are very spirited. Like you are passionate at third base, and I'm looking forward to see how that passion carries over into this new role at third base, because this is going to be a sight to see. I can see it now.
I can just imagine.
The chants.
Oh,
when you were at Benedict, who comes up with the chants? Are the chants already like they were there before you got there? Like who comes up with them?
It's kind of like a universal thing. Like it's just softball. Like, you come from the trail ball to the high school, like everybody is singing the same cheers. And then of course your different schools throw your own swag on it. Or you might have a favorite song or something and you just, in a dugout freestyle. When the beat's going, literally like that beat started on the fly. Ain't no telling what's gonna be said next.
What are your expectations from you as a first-year head coach? Have you set any goals or expectations for you for this year?
Yes, for me, my biggest goal is to not bite off more than I can chew. Again, it's my first year. And so of course I want to go in and I want to hit different benchmarks, but I don't want to take on more than I'm able to handle my first year. Again, I'm still here learning. I feel like it's forever. I'm a forever student.
Yeah.
I don't want to come in and I'm humble. I just want to remain humble, come in, do what I need to do, service my young ladies. And my biggest thing is we've been at the house for the last 2 or 3 years. That is my biggest goal. We're tired of the house. So May is time for us. We want to be at conference here come May. So being able to pour into my girls and give them what they need so we can be with the rest of the schools in May and not in Columbia, South Carolina. So that's really my biggest benchmark. Win some games, a lot of games, and go to conference. That's my biggest one.
You got a young lady at home right now, right? She's in high school, maybe a junior or senior. She's been looking for universities, and she's looking for a university that you said she can grow, but also maintain and play softball. Why Benedict?
First and foremost, majority of our students, our expectations is you a student before an athlete. And so that's what sets us apart from other universities and other colleges. If you ain't got it in the classroom, you don't touch the field. And that's the standard. And really, it forces our kids to prepare for life outside of college and outside of the sport. Like, you have to have discipline in the classroom before you can even touch the field, touch the dirt, touch the court. And so that's one thing that sets us apart from other schools. Real big in the classroom. Do not play.
At the end of this year, we're going to say Amari Lawson and Benedict are the 2020-25 or the 2025 SEAC champs.
That sounds real good. Got a good little ring.
He said speaking into life, right?
Okay.
Lastly, when it's all said and done, the exposure for women in sports, the exposure for HBCUs, talk about the importance of that and why it means so much to you, one, as a woman who played the sport, but now as a coach who's coaching the sport.
So for me, it is extremely important because, again, I'm doubling back down on it's bigger than the game. This game of softball teaches you how to be a woman, how to be a friend, how to be a good employee. Like, it teaches you the basics of life. And I can truly say this game will take our young ladies farther than what they think they'll go. Seriously. Because I could have never told you I'd be sitting in this seat today. Could have never told you. If you was to ask me freshman year, sophomore year, I probably won't even know what I don't. I would have never been able to tell you that softball would have changed my life. I would have never told you that I would have been stepped in rooms that I've stepped in from softball, from my coaches, from the university, from the college. That's why I say Benedict is definitely life-changing, because I've stepped in some rooms that I know I won't qualify for at that point in time. But because I went to Benedict, the Benedict.
Put that V in front of it.
Some respect on it.
Put that V in front.
Seriously. So yeah, it's definitely bigger than the game, and this game is gonna prepare our young women, our young Black women, for life outside of in the lines.
And I think you summed it up and closed it off better than I ever could. But one thing that I also want to say to you is that, one thing that you bring to them not only is an experience as a player, but you can also give them relating advice, right? Someone they can come to and talk to, and a family environment. You said it was life-changing. And, shout out to everyone who has commented. Family and support is everything. The way that your family has supported you and is supporting you, it's heartwarming when your family can stand behind you and see, when you fall, and then see when you get up, and to be able to pat you off and push you along the way, but then also cheer when it's all said and done. And I appreciate your family who's been in the chats lighting it up, but also what your family gives to you is what I see given to your young ladies. So lets you know that the Benedict College softball team is in very good hands. And I do thank you very much for taking this time to sit with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Listen, I appreciate everyone who has tuned in for the 3 shows today, man. It has been an amazing show. I am ecstatic, looking forward to February 16th through the 18th in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Because you get new visions, new passions, new teams, new leadership. But at the end of the game remains the same. You're getting competitive softball, competitive spirited softball amongst these young women who are the best of the best. And again, my name is Terrence Pitts from Pitt Sports Zone, Pitts and Twitch Sports Talk Radio, Bowie TV, ending the night thanking you for joining and being a part of it with us. Thanking you, Coach Lawson. Again, congratulations. I look forward to it all. I will bring you back. Whether you want to or not, you will be here. And I look forward to the growth and development. I look to be a fly just watching along the way. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, Coach Ed. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen.